Afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Andrew Xu. I'm the president of the College of Charleston. And for those of you who are joining us online, we're here in the Cistern Yard, the heart of our campus. This spot of the Cistern Yard is where so many things takes place, and so much history has been made right here on our campus across centuries. Incoming students gather here for our convocation ceremonies as they begin their studies here at the College of Charleston, and graduates walk across the stage erected here each May to receive their degrees. We reserve this spot for some of our most significant milestones, like our 250th anniversary held here last year. Today is another such milestone as we welcome our new men's head basketball coach, Kelsey. In just a few moments, you're going to meet and hear Coach Kelsey. But first, I want to give a warm Charlestonian welcome to Pat, his wife, Lisa, his 3 children, Ruthie, Caroline, and Johnny. Can you stand up and be recognized, please? As a fair new resident here in the Low Country myself, I can tell you that this is a great place for a family, and I'm sure you all will really love it here. And we're so glad that you're here. Thank you. Now let me prepare you for Coach Kelsey. I can tell you he's a ball of energy. Coach Kelsey absolutely wowed our hiring committee with his dynamic spirit, his conviction as a teacher, and his passion for the development of the whole person in our student athlete. He goes beyond just cultivating their athletic talents and abilities, but he is also focused on helping develop them in their academics and, more importantly, their character. Of course, Coach Kelsey's incredible track record of success and his attention to detail greatly appealed the engineer in me. But it was his attention to people that set him apart and really connected with me. And I know he will connect with you all. Before I turn the lectern over to Matt to formally introduce Coach Kelsey, I want to thank our Board of Trustees for their support in helping to bring Coach Kelsey to the College of Charleston. I would like to now acknowledge those trustees who were able to join us this afternoon. Our chair, David Hay, Trustee Chuck Baker, Trustee Beth Burke, and Trustee Andy Giannoukas. I especially want to thank Board Chair David Hay, and I also want to especially thank Trustee Baker for serving in the hiring committee. Thank you all for your continued commitment to our athletics program. Now let me turn the lectern over to our Director of Athletics, Matt Roberts, for a formal introduction of Coach Kelsey.
Hey, Tucky. Good afternoon, everyone. What a great day to be a Cougar. What a beautiful day we have here in one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. Thank you, President Xu. Thank you for your leadership and support throughout this search. I, too, would like to echo your thanks to the Board of Trustees and especially Chuck Baker. Thank you for your belief in me to hire the next basketball coach here at the College of Charleston. I want to thank Todd Turner of Collegiate Sports Associates, who led our search and our search committee. Our search committee members, again, Chuck Baker from the Board of Trustees, Chief of Staff Paul Patrick, donor Lance Snyder, Associate AD Jamal Walton, and CFC basketball great Joe Cheeley. And I can tell you, and I told Joe this in a private conversation a couple days ago, maybe one of the best decisions I've made since being athletic director was bringing Joe into the fold through this search process. And I can tell you, every time he spoke, every time he asked a question of one of the candidates, everyone listened. Everyone was on the edge of their seat, and his impact on this search was appreciated and led us to where we are today. The search process, like many other that come in my time here at the College of Charleston, reaffirmed a strong belief of mine that our athletics program is nationally respected and provides an opportunity for premier jobs coveted by many. That reputation led to the talented and diverse pool of over 100 candidates with a variety of experiences at every level of collegiate and professional men's basketball. When looking for the next leader of our men's basketball program, we wanted a proven winner, a program builder, a teacher, a mentor with family values, and a vision to take us to the top of our conference with regular appearances in the NCAA tournament. We wanted a coach that can recruit the best and brightest student athletes and provide them with an excellent experience academically, athletically, and socially. We wanted someone who coveted being at the college and be a valued member of our great community. We wanted a coach that is respected nationally by his peers and the players he has coached. Pat Kelsey not only meets those expectations, he far exceeds them. Pat is a proven winner. During his time at Winthrop, he became the all-time leader in the Big South Conference in regular season wins, tournament wins, and overall wins. His teams have won 4 Big South regular season titles and 3 Big South tournaments. His teams averaged over 20 wins a season in his 9 years there and compiled an astonishing 43-5 record in their past 48 games. And as I told our student athletes who, again, I did not thank you for your patience, thank you for your trust, and thank you for being here today. You guys are always the center and the focal point of everything we do, so thank you for trusting me to bring you your next coach. But as I told our student athletes yesterday when I mentioned Coach Kelsey was going to be their next leader, 43-5, I said, sign me up for that any day. Whatever it takes, right? The hard work, the commitment, the selflessness, the things that he will instill in you and in your teammates to come. The guy knows how to get it done and get it done in a great way. Not just athletically, but Pat's teams are proven winners in the classroom. His teams had their highest GPA of 3.14 in the spring of 2020 and a perfect APR score of 1,000. He and his staff work tirelessly to make sure his players succeed academically and earn meaningful degrees. Pat will embrace our history and build upon it. He will do so by earning the respect of donors, alumni, and the Charleston community. And most importantly, he will do so while focusing on our past, current, and future student athletes. As Pat says, and the jersey number I will give him here in a few minutes, it takes a team of 25 strong working together to achieve excellence. Today is a new beginning, a new era for our men's basketball program. And with that, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce and welcome Pat Kelsey as the next basketball coach at the College of Charleston.
First thing I want to say, you might have seen this on a hashtag. You hear this a lot from me, our city. Our city, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. I want to thank Dr. Shu, obviously. I want to thank Matt. It's funny, this is the second time that I've been introduced as a head coach at a press conference, and it's really nice of Matt to say those nice things about me, and the athletic director at Winthrop back in 2012 did the same thing. I'm always wondering as I'm sitting there and I'm listening to my introduction and talks about the accolades that we've accomplished at Winthrop, and I'm always waiting for the introduction to include my playing career. And nobody ever talks about it. And I'm starting to think, like, you know what? I played in college. I was a Division I player, played at Xavier, world-class program, two-time captain. But recently we went back and they honored one of our teams and they gave us all plaques. And the plaques had pictures on it, right? And on the picture it also had our career statistics. And I was a little disappointed to look at the plaque and find out that I missed 1,000 points by 827. So maybe that's why he didn't mention my accolades. It's a little bit of an inside joke, too. If anybody you were looking for Matt a little earlier, he was the guy standing over there turning blue, holding his breath to make sure I got to this podium. That's another story, but we'll talk about that later. First of all, Dr. Shu blew me away. When I spent time with him yesterday, and then studying him and look at his background, he's a remarkable man. And you look at where he grew up in China, what he went through, being sent off on multiple occasions to what they called re-education camps. Same thing with his parents. A very informal, unique education. You know what his education was? Teaching himself. The man taught himself to learn English. How? Whatever books he could get his hands on, he's taught himself how to read English. Fast forward, and I think it's aeronautical science. Essentially what he is a rocket science. So I'm talking to my buddy on the phone, and he's saying, why are you a little nervous for this interview? You've done this before. Just relax and be you. This isn't rocket science. And I said, you've never met our president. It's stinking rocket science. So just a huge thank you to him, to Matt, for their belief in me, to the Board of Trustees, for the faculty, for the staff, for the community of Charleston, for my players who are so excited to have the opportunity to meet with you guys in a little bit. I had a phone call 2 days ago with an absolute legend. You say this guy's name around here and they fall on the floor. Big round of applause for the one and only, the great John Kress. But not only Coach Kress, so many great coaches have become before me to make that name on those jerseys really special. Bobby Cremens. That name makes people fall down around here. Earl Grant. You look at the state of this program, where this program is right now, and that's because of the job that Coach Grant did recruiting world-class players, world-class individuals, and made my job easy to walk into a situation that he's taken care of really, really well the last couple years. Former players. We talked about Joe Chile. You talk about impressive. Now, he's still playing, but I'm already recruiting him to get into the coaching profession because he is a world-class person. But guys like Jarrell Brantley, who I had a phone call with last night, Anthony Johnson, Grant Riller, Andrew Goodlock, Ken Gustafson, Jody Lumpkin, those are names that have built this tradition into something really, really special. I'd be remiss if I don't mention Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Winthrop. That's a community and a school that accepted me 9 years ago, a young coach that had never called a timeout before. And I feel like we've left it better than we found it. That city introduced me to the great state of South Carolina and the southern hospitality that my family is receiving today and that I've received since I stepped foot on this campus. Heck, since the time I met Matt. You talk about little touches. You talk about the little things. If you're an athletic director out there, take notes. This dude drove to my house and met with me in person. You guys seen Jerry Maguire, the movie? He had Lisa and me at hello. And I really, really appreciate that attention to detail. But when we pulled into our driveway in Rock Hill, a gentleman named Larry Bigham, the husband of the longtime board of trustee, chair of the board of trustee at Winthrop, shook my hand and he said, Coach, welcome to South Carolina. I made the mistake that day of talking to an alumni group and calling Rock Hill Metropolitan Charlotte. Somebody said, stop right there. We are Rock Hill and we're in South Carolina. Here we are 9 years later and it's my home. I am a proud member of the state of South Carolina. Few thank yous. My mom and dad, greatest mom and dad in the history of the world. Drove here from Ohio last night, got here about 5 minutes ago. People that helped shape me into who I am today, the late, great Skip Prosser. The retired athletic director at Wake Forest, Ron Wellman. Jason G., Chris Mack, Joe Schoenfeld, Ed DeChellis, Jeff Battle. My representatives, my dear friend Joe Sunderman, Mike Ellis, Bennett Spire. Who is Pat Kelsey? I'll give you three things. My faith, my family, and my DNA. It's who I am. These guys will know, on Front Street as we call it, that they know I'm centered in my faith first. It's who I am. Second is my family. Buy stock right now in the bookstore because the amount of gear that's going to be bought by the Kelsey family is going to be ridiculous. My mom's one of 10, my dad's one of 9, I have 52 first cousins. I'm one of 5, my wife's one of 5, there's 21 grandchildren on my side, 16 on hers. And they are big Cougar fans, I can tell you today. My DNA, talked about my mom and dad. My mom's sitting right there. Drive through Cincinnati and go to South Fairmount. Talk about toughness. That's where she grew up. 10 children. My grandpa was a milkman. I think it was a 2-bedroom house. Worked through the night. That's when his job hours were. He put 10 children through 12 years of Catholic education. That's toughness. That's blue collar. That's where I come from. That's where I get my grit. That's where I get my toughness. And I think the teams that I coach reflect that. Dr. Shu talked about my energy. I got the short end of the stick on a bunch of deals. Looks, bottom of the barrel. Intelligence, I got energy. I've been described as making coffee nervous, but it's kind of who I am and how I'm wired. We're going to be about championships. How are we going to win championships? Wherever that jersey is, there's number 25 on it. What's that mean? It means our academic advisor, Kate, who I met a little bit ago, stud. Our compliance director, JB, big time. Our athletic trainer, our student managers, my associate. I got the best staff in the country, the best strength coach in the country. Nobody's role and nobody's job is more important or less important than anybody else's. That 25 strong is the point guard, the power forward, the student manager. They weren't that important anyway, if you can grab that for me. It was a bad speech to start with anyway. You grab that for me? And 25 people given maximum championship effort every single day is how we're going to win championships. You win championships and you're successful in organizations with people. People that are committed to a cause, that are committed to making our basketball program one of the best in the country. Why not? If you're a dream, dream big. Gonzaga did it. Why not here? Walk through this campus. You won't find a finer, more beautiful campus anywhere. One of the finest cities in the United States of America that people flock to around the world. I walked into that arena and my son almost fell down. He was so excited. There's tools, there's resources, but there's a want-to. There's people that set up my hotel room with gear laid out perfectly, meticulously. Those little details, that's 25 strong. From a player standpoint, what are we about? ABC, simple. Keep it simple. Not the sharpest knife in the door, but I know to keep things simple, the old KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. ABC, academics, basketball, character. Academics, basketball, character. Those young men are here to set up the next 40 years of their life. How? To get a world-class education at a big-time institution. And someday I want to meet their children. I want them to call me when they are up for a job. I want to be at their press conference when they get their first Division I job. Getting that degree and walking across that stage. B is basketball. Hoop dudes. That's what I call them. Hoop dudes. It's a world-class city with a lot going on. Priority, academics, your faith first, academics, and hoop. World-class programs, big-time programs, the ball's bouncing all the time. You have to vet that in recruiting. You have to peel away the onion and find out, are they about that A and that B? And then the last is the most important, the C. Character. Character. This place deserves the best. For better or worse, those young men right there, and I am a lot of times the window with which the outside world views our university. And having individuals in our organization that treat people right, that live their life the right way, that spread your message in the locker room, that make good decisions when nobody's watching, it's about those three things. And that's what our basketball program will be about here. 25 strong. I, as the head coach of this world-class program, will be committed to a couple things. The city. One thing I'm really proud of is my relationship with the city of Rock Hill. Born and raised in Cincinnati, I'm a Midwest guy. But it's emotional leaving that town because of the connection and the relationships and the amount of time that I poured into it. I commit to you that this is our new home. I will commit to making Charleston better by doing my part, by diving on the loose balls, by leaving everything out there and making it better because we live here. The university, to the faculty, to the staff, to everybody out there that sees this press conference and understands that this is a high-profile position that earns a lot of money. There's a huge responsibility to that. I accept that responsibility. And to the faculty, to the staff, to the Board of Trustees, I'm talking the talk right now, but I promise you I'm going to walk the walk. To our student body, students of Rock Hill, for lack of a better term, they were my dogs. They were my dogs. I liked when I walked around campus that the students thought I knew their name. It's hard to know 5,000 students. It's hard to know the name of every student here. But I want the students of this institution to know Pat Kelsey cares about them. And it's their program. It's your program. I'm just the steward. These guys are it is your program. And that 25 strong is more than just the players and the compliance director and the strength coach. It's you. It's you. It's the alumni. It's the students. It's the citizens of this city. We need a 25 strong effort. We need a Final Four effort. We need this to be Charleston, the college, be our city. I'm proud and honored to be your head coach. I'm so excited to get to know you guys. Our city.
All right, that concludes today's press conference. We will have, for the media members that are here, we'll have time for Q&A inside Randolph Hall in the boardroom, so feel free to join us in there, just the media members only. Once again, let's give a standing ovation, round of applause for your new men's basketball coach, Pat Kelsey.